Hey guys, it's Jay from Find Your Crazy. We're a family of 9 who live full-time in our RV with 5 of our kids as we go around the country to see every national park. But today, we're going to tell you the story about the time Joe almost died. So seriously, he came within inches of being impaled by a stick while sleeping in his camper. That's right here in this bunk behind us. This happened over the holidays. In December, we were staying in Atlanta near our girls, and a little storm came through one night, and I'm talking teeny tiny. I mean, not a big deal, like no wind advisories, no severe thunderstorm warning. I mean, just a very, very light little storm. Me and Francis were laying in bed watching TV, and all of a sudden we heard something hit the camper. And Francis goes, "What was that?" I'm like, "Sweetie, I'm not sure. Let me go look." So all the kids are asleep. It's pitch dark in the rest of the camper. So I'm walking through and kind of lifting up the curtains and trying to look outside because I thought something maybe had fallen up against the side of the camper. And so I walk back here into the kids' room, and I'm trying not to turn on any lights. And all of a sudden, I hear little Joe's curtain pull back, and he said, "Dad, did you hear that?" What did it sound like when it happened?
Like something broke.
Like something broke. So I said, "I don't know, buddy. I'm looking to see something." And so I went back out into the living room, and I'm trying to look out the main window, and it's raining. And so it's hard to really see what's going on. And all of a sudden, Joe says, "Dad, it hit my bunk." And I said, "No, buddy, I don't think so. I'm trying to tell." And he said, "No, Dad, it's what? What's happening in your camper? It's raining in my bunk." And so now I decided it was time to turn the light on. And so I came back and I turned my flashlight on, and right here, right above his head, so he was sleeping right here, right above his head, there's a stick sticking out of the roof of the slide. And water is just pouring down because it's pouring outside, and so it's just running down the stick. And so I kid you not, when we got Joe down and we started looking in his hair, what did we find in your hair?
Like little pieces of wood.
Little pieces of wood and bark that was in his head. I mean, I'm not exaggerating when I say that. I mean, less than a foot away from his head. So we yanked the mattress off and we stick a bucket up underneath it. And then I go outside and climb up on the roof. And so now I'm out there trying to figure out, in the pouring down rain, how to stop this from leaking on him into the bunk for the rest of the night. And so I got some towels and stuffed around it, and I put a big bucket over it to try to hide it with a big rock on top. And so it ended up that when I got outside and looked, there was a piece of stick that was about 2 feet long that was sticking through the camper, and then I found the rest of it laying there. The whole stick was probably about as tall as Joe. It's probably about 4 to 5 feet long that just happened to fall from the perfect place out of a tree. Really the only thing that fell around in the campground, and it came down just like a javelin through the roof of the slide. If you're not familiar, the roof of the slides is made out of 2 very thin layers of wood with a little bit of insulation in between them, and so it had just stuck right through them. So we set up a pallet for Joe that night and let him sleep in our room because we just weren't sure. Luckily, the rain stopped just a few minutes later, and so we didn't get a whole lot more water in the camper. And then the next day, me and Christopher took off to try to see if we could fix it. All right, so we are going to attempt to patch the hole in Joseph's roof until I can figure out how to fix it, or if I'm going to have to fix it, or I have to take somebody to fix it. But in the meantime, we're going to get a patch on it. So I did some research and found that there's like a roofing patch tape that I can use. And so we're headed off to our fix-it store, which of course is always the Home Depot. Usually it takes me a 2-trip minimum to Home Depot to get any project done. I've talked about that curse that I have before. Hopefully this time, since it's just one thing I need, that's all I'm going to need. So hopefully we can do it in one trip. So we're going to mask up, head inside, and see if we can get this done. what I got. Resisto repair and seal tape, aluminum finish on top. This is basically a big thin layer of bitumen tape, which is something that I've used to seal stuff outside the camper before, but that comes like in a big thick roll, and this is basically a big thin piece with an aluminum topper on top of it. So this is actually made to be semi-permanent, and so it should be perfect for a fix for us in the short term. So I'm going to put a layer on the outside and then also put a layer on the inside just to seal it off from both sides, and then that'll buy me time to figure out what I need to do, and then later on in the video, once we're a little bit further in, I'll let you know how good it works. But I'm expecting good things. I mean, look right there on the top, there's a camper with tape on the roof, so I mean, why would an advertiser lie, right? So it should be great. So one of the biggest questions with this whole ordeal, and we hear this a lot, is who's responsible? So you're at a campground, a little bit of breeze is coming up, a limb does fall and hit your camper. Who pays for that? So the answer is you do. If you're at a campground, then you're taking that risk, and that's going to be between your insurance company and you. Even if the tree is dead and had issues, you're going to contact your insurance company. They're going to work it out with you. And then if it is a dead tree that shouldn't have ever been there, where there's been some negligence on the part of the campground, then let your insurance company know, and they may choose to sue the campground and pursue that, but you're not going to have to. So bottom line is, it's going to be your responsibility between you and your insurance company. They may take it back up with the campground, but it's going to be initially between you and them. And so we're paying for this little incident with Joe's branch. So Christopher and I obviously were able to find some roof tape that was great for this. In fact, I'm super glad that I got the big roll and have kept it with us, because I've lent it to a couple of other people to patch other parts of their roofs, and then I've even used it to patch a little tear that happened in our roof until we can get it fixed. And it's not even just short term. Just because of the holidays and us traveling around, this has been, this patch has been on here for like 3 months now, just because I haven't had the time or the tools to get to fixing it. But I haven't had to. I check the outside every now and then, and I mean, this stuff is rock solid waterproof. And so I'll put the link down in the description bar. So I don't know why it always seems to happen about the branches. We had the branches falling all around us in the ice storm in Thermopolis, and now the branches falling around Joe. So Joe, how did it feel to almost die? What was it like when you were laying there that night?
It was scary.
Scary? Why was it scary?
Because the branch had come through my bunk.
How do you feel about it now? Does it seem scary now when you look back?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. We were all a little bit freaked out. I can tell you for sure that it took Francis and I a little while to calm down and be able to go to sleep again that night after that happening. But you know what? Our life is in God's hands, and we know that we're just as safe in this camper as we are in a sticks and bricks. And things can happen anytime, anywhere. And so we're just grateful that the Lord was looking out for Joseph that night. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you do, so that you don't miss any of the other chaos, crazy things that happen to us along our path. And you can catch all those videos by hitting that subscribe button. And if you missed any of our last videos, you can click down there and catch another one even right now. Thanks, guys. See you next time.